In the spirit of not doing the old mother-dad deal. How many times have you seen the little rascal so clever go in there and mama told him, you're not going to get it. And goes in to daddy, who only sees him after 5 in the afternoon, wants to love him, and says, you can have it, son. You can have that before dinner. And he goes back in and says, Mama, Daddy said I could have it. That's the old mom, dad, been around since the beginning of time. I'm not going to go for that here. That's what's happening.
You're not going for it?
I'm not going for it. No. But we've had a very, very strong negotiation. Now, by the way, frankly, it wouldn't have made any difference what the negotiation was. Guess who has to be comfortable for this to work?
Micah.
And who else?
You.
Hello. There's not room for a third. There's not room for a third. This will be a good one.
Yeah. Big JTV, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tapping in, sliding in. I'm going to put some clips, so if I already didn't, at the very beginning of Jerry Jones speaking on the Stephen A. Smith show and really reiterating this really big notion that you can't promise me one thing or talk to another person and then show me another, right? Basically play games with me as the owner, right? And he had the analogy of a little boy going to the mother and not being allowed to do something, and then going to the father and saying the father allowed something, and then coming back to the mother, hey, say the father said this, and you know what I mean, and I can do it. And he said, I'm not going for that shit, right? Long story short, he's trying to say that the agent is essentially the middleman in this negotiation. And what the agent is saying is not going to be conducive as to what Jerry Jones wants and needs. Now, what's happening here is that, at least from the reported, Jerry Jones, in negotiating with Micah, right, was ready to give Micah somewhere around the $200 million range. 5 years, $200 million range, right? This would put him above most players in the league and only be getting paid, probably the 7th highest paid player, not even defense, just a player period in the entire league. Now, obviously, part of the negotiations for most players involves agents. Right now, this gives us a preview as to what Jerry Jones has been doing, or at least does with more premium players. Right? He has these contracts in shady, off-the-table ways. Why do I say that? The man had an interview with Michael Irvin. He had an interview with Michael Irvin, and he essentially put the cat out of the bag that his negotiations with Michael Irvin were between him and Michael. They were not with an agent. So this lets me know that the way that Jerry Jones functions is not only old school, it's borderline illegal. So let's see this clip here. It's also in the Stephen A. Smith show where he talks about how this Micah situation is probably going to play out. Let's go.
How do you view Micah Parsons? I know you think he's a great player and very, very important. I consider him the face of the franchise. What do you say to that?
I'm glad that you recognize that. We got him for 3 years no matter what.
He's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Somebody comes along with a couple of Pro Bowlers and a couple of first-round picks, Jerry. What you going to do?
Here, no. I've got this thing, static coming in here somewhere. I'm getting overrun here.
I'm just asking. I want to make sure that nobody has to worry about Micah Parsons going anywhere, because that's how much you value him.
Just know this. I'm so proud since you think that much of him.
Yes.
Please say it often, because we do have him.
Boom. And that's the truth. What he's saying right there in that little clip that I just put there is that he's going to franchise tag Michael Parsons 3 years in a row if Parsons does not essentially come to the table for real. Which tells me when September rolls through Michael Parson is going to be in a Cowboy helmet. That's just what it is. Because the stupid Players Association made it possible for owners to have this franchise tag as an option, especially for owners, especially for the front office. It ruined the running back market. And guess what? This franchise situation is why you have Dak Prescott, a person who's won 2 playoff games in almost 12 damn years, being the highest paid player in the league. 60 insanity, right? And because of the stupid and weak Players Association, you have owners who are doing something incredibly illegal. You should have representation at the table, or at least around the premises, for you to be able to go along. Let me tell you something, man. There was also a rumor that once Michael Parsons' agent received that letter, received at least some information about that conversation that Michael Parsons had with Jerry in March, that once, Jerry sent that information to David Mulligetta, that David Mulligetta said, shove it up your ass, right? The offer. Ryan Clark has some information about that, so we're going to have him speak right here.
I just hit David Mulligetta, and I simply asked him, I said, did you tell Jerry Jones to stick the contract up his ASS? Because I was like, ain't no way. And he laughed, and he said, I've never used that phrase in my life. So for anybody who is reporting that, for Jerry Jones saying that, this is false. This never happened. This is just another public way to make this situation, which is already ugly, even uglier. David Mulligetta in no way has ever told Jerry Jones or any other general manager or owner that. It's all bullcrap. It's all lies.
Now, look, man, I'm just going to be honest. I don't believe Jerry or Ryan Clark. I believe the truth is in between, man. I don't even believe Michael Parsons. I think the truth is in between. I think what generally happened is that Jerry Jones tried to give Michael Parsons a deal behind the table, behind the scenes, and Michael Parson didn't see it as a negotiation topic. He thought it was just a first type of conversation. Michael Parson said, hey, let's bring it to my agent. The agent was unsatisfied, and the agent was planning to meet with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones dodged it, and Jerry Jones felt personally offended that Michael Parsons was not willing to just go along and get along like all the other boys that Jerry has. Right? He wasn't willing to play ball. So Jerry took it personal, and Jerry has made it his mission during this media run to assassinate the character of this agent, David Mulligetta. And I think it's really a beef between David Mulligetta and Jerry Jones, because I promise you, this agent is speaking to Michael Parsons, is telling him, bro, we got all these options. Stick it out. Now, look, I personally believe that if we really look at the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones better get this fixed ASAP. They have a horrible defense. And I'm telling you right now, it would be tough to get 3 draft picks or even make a trade for an equal value or even close to equal value of Michael Parsons. Parsons does not perform in the playoffs, but guess what? You won't even make the playoffs if you can't even get wins in the regular season, and every team is putting 30 on your BAN. You know what I mean? So, hey, let me tell you something. You better sign Parsons. But this is the problem, man. Jerry's ego and his unwillingness to work with agents might blow up in his face, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I might do a stream tomorrow based on that Dallas Cowboys series. Get in the chat, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Big JTV, I'm out, man.